Hello, good evening. It's Thursday. Been home about 20 minutes. Um, First day that I went to work this week after having a cold, which I still got some of that symptoms of that, but it's not nearly as bad now. Came home. Didn't really have much to do, so I thought I'd just go on live for a little bit, see if anybody else wants to come in and have any conversation about anything. Um, just happened to look at the news. I saw that the Commanders have done an interview with Eric Bieniemy today. I think he's a coach that is fairly highly regarded. I don't know how many interviews he's done. Um, and I don't know how popular as of the last couple of years he's really been in the NFL. Where's that story? I'm going to click on it. There it is. So he's been, let's see, with the Chiefs. I'm not sure what his job title was there. Oh, he was an offensive coordinator there. So why would he even entertain going somewhere else outside of a bigger offer? But first day of interviewing him for the position. Talks went well, and we'll continue into Friday. It says any team could hire him without any repercussions as far as big compensation goes. But that would just be a lateral move. It looks like he's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. So I would think he'd want a better position than that if he's going to go somewhere else. During Bieniemy's tenure as offensive coordinator, the Chiefs have 60 games with 25 or more points since 2018. That's 5 seasons, 80 games total. So wow, that's like 3/4 of the games. No other team has 50 such games. And no other team has Mahomes either. Hey, Tim.
Hey, what's going on, Keith?
Oh, you know, you can hear me. I can't hear you because I don't have the speaker on. Okay.
So you got to have a speaker on?
Well, yeah, it turns off after a certain number of hours of inactivity sometimes, but I forget to turn it on sometimes when I get home. So the Commanders interviewed Bieniemy for offensive coordinator job, and looks like that's the job he has with Kansas City.
Yeah, it's a lateral move.
Yeah, so I don't understand why he'd be interviewing for that.
Well, I mean, either that or he doesn't see the challenge anymore in doing Kansas City, or else he thinks that.
Now, yeah, getting Washington going is probably one of the ultimate challenges these days.
Yeah, exactly.
A team that has had its struggles over the last 3 decades.
Yeah, especially when we'll let Robert Griffin III play with a torn up ACL. Sure, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That whole medical staff should have been fired.
Yeah. And they had Cousins right on the team. They
Yeah.
drafted him the same draft.
And I thought the Browns were terrible.
Yeah. Neither one has had much success at picking quarterbacks over the years. At least y'all did have Kozar when he was there.
Yeah, and we got lucky to get him. The supplemental draft. They let him go in the supplemental draft, which I believe that still exists, but you don't hear about it at all anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there is still such a thing, but
if you take somebody, you lose a draft pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works anymore. Because it does seem like you used to hear a lot more about it. And that was that they were, well, there's compensatory picks too, right? That come in at certain points in the draft.
Right. I think those might be, yeah, if you lose somebody via free agency, I think you get a compensatory pick.
And they just worked that right into the draft instead of having a supplemental. Those are like between rounds or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
But that pushes some teams back further, and they probably don't like that much.
No, I doubt the Browns will have any of them. In fact, I don't even know if they probably have the draft order completed. Well, barring any.
So for so many years, it just seemed like Washington would trade their draft picks away to try to get some free agent who had his best years behind him, and they were like, "Oh, we're only one or two players away from
being
a division contender." Yeah, right. Who are you trying to kid? So, working from home today, Tim?
Yeah. It's the only place I can work from.
Yeah.
Except now I seem to be starting later and later because I'm kind of just like, bleh.
Yeah. You stay up later too, or?
Yeah, because I don't have not really. I try to get in go to bed like 10:30 or 11 and just wake up. You just don't want to get started. Although tomorrow I'll probably get going 6 to 2:30 because it's a long weekend. I don't have to work on Monday, and I'm not working on Wednesday either. So,
yeah, Larry, I heard about that. Tim McCarver passed, 81 years old.
Yeah.
He had a great voice, I thought, for baseball, but sometimes he would get to going on rambling about something, and I was like, "Hey, Tim, you're kind of missing some of the stuff that's happening out there in the field, aren't you there, bud?" 2 or 3 outs would go by, and he didn't even really seem like he noticed.
Well, I would hope he would have done it in a game that wasn't very close. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
then again, I was watching one of those. It was a 1990. I wasn't watching. I was listening. And I was just bored, and I was like, okay, let's see what they have for like 90s Indians baseball. And so they had a game from like April 29th of 2000 or of 1999. It was Pedro Martinez against Bartolo Colon. And sure as shit, the guy editing it missed the final out. Not that it would have mattered because I already went and looked up what happened, but come on, dude.
Yeah. At the end of the video, the last out wasn't there.
Yeah.
That was one of those years Pedro was just lights out, right?
Yep. And if he'd have got run support, which he barely got in that game. Actually, yeah, because it was tied at 1, and the Red Sox left like 11 or 12 on base. So, Yeah, trust me, there's a whole library of stuff that I could watch, and including if I want to sit through the 5 division series. First 2 division series games I can sit through. It's only the part after game 3 when Dave Burba gets hurt that I can't stomach.
Mm.
So they get come back on in game 3, they get whooped in game 4, and then come back for game 5, and then Pedro comes in and pitch and throws 8 2/3, or throws there's like 6 no-hit innings,
Mm-hmm.
and they lose after scoring 1,000+ runs. Although we'll see how biased this one this is where you can find Baseball Channel. See how biased they are against the Indians, whether they actually show wins or losses.
Yeah, that was. So they averaged over 6 runs a game that year.
Yeah.
That's like scoring in 2 out of every 3 innings.
Seems like it. Yeah.
Well, I was supposed to be taking off out of Alexandria right now, but it was cold. I moved the vacation off 4 weeks from today.
Yeah, 6.2 runs, and then allowed 860.
Oh, 5 1/3 a game.
Right. Well, then again, if you were, I have to see what the average number of runs scored was in the league for that year. Because if you figure if somebody scores, the minimum is probably 4 or 5 runs a game average. So you're talking about 6 or 700 runs. Or so.
The early 90s, it seemed like there was an offensive drought almost. And then after the steroids, I guess it was, started coming into the league. After the work stoppage, it's like everything just exploded.
You would think. Yeah. I mean, compared to what we'll have now, holy Jesus. I don't see it coming back like with strikeout after strikeout after strikeout. At least they put the bat on the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, oh.
Yeah, they get the home runs now, but they don't get the 7 to 6 games very often.
Well, if they are, they're maybe 5 hits, 7 runs on 5 hits, because three of them are homers.
No, you do get games like that where there's like 10 or more runs, but every run in the game is driven in on a home run practically. Might have 1 sac fly.
Please. Well, yeah, because they're probably looking to, raise the ball. Hold on. Oh, it's probably just a buddy of mine in Columbus wanting to give me a fact before tonight's Blue Jackets game. Yep. So, yeah, it's not looking so good for the teams that have Bally Sports. I'm sure you've heard about this with their bankruptcy issue, right?
I heard you guys talking about it a little bit a couple nights ago.
So essentially, Bally is going to miss. It's Sinclair Broadcasting. It's a parent company of theirs.
Mm.
They're going to miss an interest payment, and they have 30 days to make it up. And it don't look like they're going to do it. So if that happens, then they get to declare. Then they're going to declare bankruptcy, and that means that teams might not be paid for rights fees.
Oh.
So Major League Baseball has stepped in. I don't know if they're going to pay them or whether MLB Network's going to, they're going to pay. Well, they have to pay them because they own the network.
Mhm.
I mean, they probably won't get paid their entire thing, but then that's you go in budgeting for how much, and then you're going to be shortfall. And we thought that teams were losing money bad when COVID hit. This sure as shit ain't going to help.
No.
And then if they go away, I don't know who's going to step up and take the regional ones. Are we going to go back to local stations having to carry the games? And they're not going to want to pay that much money.
No.
I mean, they don't have national advertisers. They're lucky if they get about 4 or 5 local ones to take some of the stuff from the game.
Mm-hmm. The Cubs got some station called Marquee. I don't know who owns that.
Me neither. I mean, would I love to have Indians games back on regular television or Guardians games? Yes. But
Like TBS and
no, not even that. There used to be what's now a local. I don't think it's affiliated. WUAB out of Cleveland used to have the games before, and then our local NBC affiliate had a few of them, but they were simulcast on local TV and cable. But they were only maybe a couple games a year, not like you'd have some where it'd be the entire series. I didn't have cable back in the day. I was happy when that happened. So either that or you'd be lucky if you got one game a series where because they travel out there or do whatever, and then I mean, I know they're not going to have ESPN do all the games. That's for damn sure.
yeah.
I mean, because there's no way that they could have 15 or 16 ESPN guys unless they're just like, all right, we're going to have it under ESPN and your local guys are going to do it. Be the only way I could see it. Or you do it like Fox Sports 1.
Well, maybe with AI being something that's they're getting developed, they could have like Siri type voices or something.
Oh, no. No.
What they just see what happens and
or have the Ernie Harwell voice from the Appa baseball game.
Yeah.
Bierga.
Bierga?
Yeah, instead of Bierga, it's Bierga. I'm like, okay, Appa, I understand that, you wanted this game to come out, and it's hard to have, thousands of names read. But you couldn't tell him, Ernie, no, that's not how you do it? I don't know. No, I do not want a Siri type.
Should probably get stuck or something.
And now pitching for the Brewers, Grammy Lloyd.
Yeah, Grammy.
Grammy Lloyd.
With that E at the end.
Yes. Or I'm trying to think of another.
How would it pronounce that guy that plays for the Milwaukee Bucks, that Giannis?
They probably have it spelled out. They probably have it where they have it recorded. Or you're going to have the deep voice. Giannis Antetokounmpo. The pronunciation guy.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked up the way that last name was supposed to be pronounced just yesterday, and it's like the last name isn't even pronounced the way it's spelled.
What?
For
Giannis.
Giannis, yeah.
How does it like?
I don't remember, but come on. Oh, there we go. Mm-hmm. Well, see, his last name is Anteto, but according to the baseball reference, it's Adedo Kunbo.
Okay.
There's no pronunciation of the M. The P at the end gets pronounced like a B, and the T's get pronounced like D's.
Oh, is that basketball reference or baseball reference?
Basketball reference. What?
Then again, the Cavaliers had a guy that for a few years his name was Vitaly, and at first we called him Potapenko, but the real pronunciation was supposed to be Potapenko. Potapenko. He was on the same team as Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Oh well, yeah, you clean it up.
Yeah. So there used to be guys that used to call him Vitaly Potastenko because he was not a good player.
What's up?
Yeah, but Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It should be the pronunciation.
Yeah,
Giannis who?
Antetokounmpo.
I think he lived down the street from me.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got that church there, and the guy that was mowing it, he's the one that passed away.
Yeah.
So are you mowing it now?
No. Who told you about his mom? Darlene tell you?
No, you did.
Yeah. He died a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I'll show you a picture. I'll show you a picture.
ID Chester pronounced by Erica. I think we.
Oh! Anybody want to play? Anybody want to play? History Maker Golf or IDJ?
Jose Maria Olazabal.
Tiger Juster. You ought to invite him. They say he went on a classic rant last night.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy!
That was just setting it up, though, wasn't it?
Oh, he played. Oh, we setting it up, and then went on a rant for an hour or so. I'm hearing
Ranting about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
you
watch
said it
it.
was too long, but yet you went and played it.
You got to play it one time before you try it online. That's for sure.
Not him.
But that's all right. I learned my lesson 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
You do not test games for the first time online.
Oh, with the
Hockey game.
play hockey game.
At my hockey, yeah. At my hockey. Oh no, he started playing it, then went on the rant, says Dwayne. Yeah.
Gotcha.
At my hockey, yeah. That's right. I didn't out by the numbers, but now it's History Maker Golf, so.
Well, unfortunately, not Dave Gardner, who sat down and dissected the rules and found out really how to play that game. But you know, the OSDAI or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
The
Defensive index number or whatever it is.
Yeah, I just remember him saying something about it. If it equals this, that, I don't know.
Hey,
He had a
Brian.
game on the other night with the Leafs and the Sabres from like '78.
Invite. I'll send one to Brian.
I'll be leaving here in about 5-10 minutes. So
Who's that died today?
Tim McCarver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got one more because as I'll say it try to do my worst Morgan Freeman impersonation. It was the lovely Raquel who died yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
So either expect one tonight or one tomorrow because they usually come in threes.
That's what Darlene always says. She always says it.
Is there somebody that died the day before that I don't know about?
Ryan Seacrest announces he's leaving live with Kelly and Ryan.
That's correct. And you know who's going to be standing in?
Is that a little gap?
Nope. Her husband,
Oh, really?
Mark Consuelos.
Oh, all right.
Well, I guess Jerry Jarrett. So that takes care of the three.
Yeah. He didn't get done. He didn't get done one hole. What's up, Brian? What's going on?
He did so much fussing he didn't even finish one hole, huh?
He said the rant started and then went on for about an hour after he quit. See, what's going on? I believe I had him on the channel last night, but I always have my volume turned down if I'm laying down in the bed.
Oh, IDJ, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, you were at the parade, I assume?
Yes, I was. I went there for about 3 hours ahead of time. Got pretty close to the stage, but it got so packed. I went back up to my condo because I could see it from a neighbor's place. He was having a party, so I just watched it from our condo.
Oh, okay.
Got a good view of the flyover, which was pretty cool.
Now,
Went right over it.
last summer, was it this past summer or the summer before that, you had a little bitty camper. You and your wife were camping in.
Yeah.
Number one, do you still have it? Number two, how well did you like it?
Oh, we like it a lot, and yes, we do still have it. I'm looking forward to using it again this summer. Last summer, we spent most of the summer Airbnb in it.
Oh, okay.
We made about $130 a night on that. So that's what we did for that last summer. I think we'll do less of that this summer and use it more.
Awesome. I love to camp.
Mm-hmm.
You like to fish? You like to fish?
No, we're really not big outdoor people. We like to go around. Missouri State Parks are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the Missouri State Parks. And we go to small towns and visitor museums, things like that. Hike.
Yep.
You
ought to go to Gatlinburg, come see the bears, and go from there over to North Carolina. That's some good places down there to really see some bears and elk. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we saw quite a bit of wildlife, a lot of turkeys.
Yeah, that's my dad's favorite, turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alternate work site, and they got wild turkeys running around there. Not just the people working there.
The semi-tame turkeys.
Well, yes. That's a nice area too. Well, some of it is, because unfortunately, if you go just a little bit further, you end up in the Glenville area, which is where Troy Smith and Ted Ginn Jr. and all them came from. Not the greatest part. I mean, they do try, I mean, I'm sure some of them give money to kind of help, but it's not, you don't fear for your life, but it's not the great, there's a lot of boarded up stuff there. So.
I see that Chicago got okay to move their stadium, move to outside the city, something Hills.
For the Bears?
Bears, I mean, yeah, the Bears is what I meant. Yeah.
Are they going to build a dome?
No. Well, I understand. I don't think it's going to be a dome.
Where's it going to be built at?
What's the name of it? Something it's called Richland Hills? Something like that.
You guys want to get going?
All right, Tim.
Have a good one, Tim.
It's outside
How far
of
is it
Chicago.
from Soldier Field?
Huh?
How far is it from Soldier Field?
It's on out of town. It's outside the city.
Oh, it's outside the city.
Yeah, Soldier Field's in the city of Chicago.
Right, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's at least 15 miles.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something Hills. I don't forget the name of it.
No, I think it's Arlington Heights or something.
Maybe it is called Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I want to say it's west of the city. I think it is. And
I think they're running that NASCAR race right by the Soldier Field, I believe.
might be.
Yeah.
And now they're looking to run New York. Now, really?
New York, yeah.
New York City. I'm like,
Matter of fact, I guess the qualifying duels is on right now, ain't it? Forgot about that, to be
start at
honest.
7 or 7:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, forgot about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Forgot about qualifying being last night. I see Rick Hendrick's cars dominated.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. The only one that wasn't in the top 5 was Chase.
Yeah. But tonight decides where they're going to start, though, other than the top 2.
2, right, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Logano and Penske did well. I think they're right there all together.
Grilled me some hot dogs on the stove.
Now, is that street track all on one level, or do they have like where they go up on like interchanges and?
I think it's going to be pretty flat.
Overpass.
I don't know
believe
the
it's pretty
exact
flat.
route.
I don't believe they even have a bridge or anything to go. I don't
Yeah,
think they do.
Nashville's got that bridge that the Indy cars go across.
Yeah.
And I think NASCAR screwed up and didn't jump on that quick enough. I think NASCAR would have liked to done it down Nashville.
Yeah. See, Tony Kanaan retired today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Hey, Dom?
Tony Kanaan. K-A-N-N. I mean, K-A-N-A-A-N.
I was saying hi to Dom Alvarez.
Oh, Dom Alvarez. Hello, Dom. Misunderstood. What's up, Dom?
Rob, I got a question for you.
All right.
When we come up to the draft show in a couple months,
Yep.
would you mind if I host the draft show? Because I can put a live camera from a condo here down onto the draft
Not
Well,
a problem at all.
while we do our talking picks.
That's fine.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
That is fine.
Now, where I was yesterday on the 7th floor, there's a couple trees in the way. You can't really see the front of Union Station that well, but there's another condo. I've got a friend on the 4th floor on the corner that I think you can see pretty well from there.
Now, am I crazy? But I mean, the guy, what's his name? The one that's been doing the shows for 30 years. What's the guy's name? Dark hair guy.
Chris
Mel
Berman?
Kiper,
Huh?
about the draft.
Yeah.
Oh, Kuiper.
Mel Kiper.
Kiper. Mel Kiper. He's saying at least 6 quarterbacks going first round.
The best thing I heard from him is that he says if Baltimore Ravens draft Bijan Robinson, he said he'll quit, he'll retire. So I'm hoping the Ravens draft Bijan Robinson.
But he's got Richardson going first. Richardson. If anybody that saw that jabroni play this year, no.
How many correct picks did Kiper have last year?
I don't know, but that ain't right.
Probably
That
less
ain't
than we-
right.
I bet he had less than we had.
There's at least 2 quarterbacks that could go before him. And to me, the 2 obvious picks are the linebacker from Alabama and that defensive lineman from Georgia. Those 2 are, I think they are automatic hits.
Jalen Carter. Now, do you think Chicago will? There's some talk that they might trade Justin Fields.
Well, if they trade him, even if you trade him, that does not mean you got to go draft a quarterback. That just means that somewhere along the way you got to get something for him. You got to end up getting something. But I'm not sure you couldn't go free agency and end up better than what you got. I really believe that.
Yeah,
I'd rather have Garoppolo, no doubt. If somebody gave me Garoppolo or Fields, I ain't even a choice.
maybe they'll take Heineke or
everybody is saying Heineke's going down to New Orleans. I don't know. We'll see.
I thought the Saints went with Carr.
Have they signed him?
The Carr thing hasn't happened yet.
No, they ain't signed him yet. now.
He did go down and talk to him, though. Keith, you're correct about that.
Yeah.
But then he made the decision to make the Raiders.
They haven't released him anyway. It's a trade, right? It'd be a
No,
trade.
they had to release him yesterday. I think they
They
released him.
released him yesterday.
Oh,
but,
did they release him? Okay.
Yeah,
He was very
he
smart.
wouldn't waive his no trade clause.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
very smart about that, though. He doesn't want to hurt the team, and he's going to make them give up any assets.
Right. Why would you want to make them have to give up
Well,
two number
The
ones?
Saints just got a couple picks because of the Peyton deal. So
You think somebody would have gave 2 number 1s for him? I don't think that. Sure.
No.
Looks
no,
like
I don't
Looks
think
Rex
they would.
Ryan's going to go to DC at Denver.
Yeah. I noticed he was talking to Denver about going back to being a coordinator.
Yeah.
Has the game passed him by though? Yeah, I don't know. And is your offensive coordinator there ever going to get a head coaching job?
Not this year.
What the hell has
he's
he done? He's done something. He's
I
had
was
to.
just reading at the start of coming online where the Commanders interviewed him for the offensive coordinator job, but that's just a lateral move for him.
Right, it's a lateral.
Well, it's more better than a lateral move because he can get out from under the shadow of Andy
Andy
Reid.
Reid.
If he can do
Yeah.
something in Washington, then he'll get his head coaching job. That's the hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Reed is an offensive mind.
Who do you guys think with starting quarterback for Tampa next year? I think you got to let Trask have a chance. I think you got to let Kyle Trask have a chance. Now, is he your number one? Maybe not. But I think if you do, maybe you go, maybe you get Geno Smith if Seattle doesn't sign him. Everybody's telling me Geno Smith, Seattle wants to keep him. Look, I think we saw the best he could play last year. And the best possible. I don't think he can get no better. So, do you risk signing him for 5 years, $40 million, $50 million, whatever, and then he ends up flopping, because he's going to want guaranteed money. All the quarterbacks now do, every one of them. They don't care if it's $10 million, $50 million, $100 million. They want it guaranteed now.
We got Mahomes till 2032.
Cleveland started that crap with Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what started that guaranteed money.
Yep.
Sure.
That's why I don't think Jackson's going to end up getting a long-term deal. I think he can.
They better not. They better franchise his ass and look for a quarterback. They need him next year because the cupboard's bare.
Then
He's better than
franchise him
anything they
inside.
got. But they better get rid of his ass.
Yeah.
I said from the day they drafted him, he's not a quarterback. He's the best running back in the NFL. He ain't a quarterback.
Yeah.
So what's the guess for everybody on Aaron Rodgers now? Staying in Green Bay?
I think he'll retire.
Oh, I don't think he's going to retire.
Not with that money out there.
No way. Not
He's been
55
talking like
million.
he's going to.
55 million. He ain't going. He going to play somewhere.
He's been talking like he's going to retire.
If I were betting, I'll say he'll play somewhere else. He'll probably sign.
I think Green Bay's tired of him.
I think they are too. I think.
I don't think it's his decision to play there. I think they're done with him.
But
I think that's what's pissed him off. He wanted to go a few years. Now he doesn't want to. And now he's
Well, I think
aggravated
there's a
that they're
good
going to get
chance-
rid of him.
I think there's a hell of a chance he goes to Vegas, plays a year, maybe 2. And if that is, if he goes, he may say, "I'll stay here if you pay me $25 more million." That'd still be a discount from 55 for 1 year.
I could see him retiring now.
I don't think so. Not staring down the barrel of $55 million.
His last game, he looked like he was ready to retire. And then the last time he was on the McAfee show a couple of days ago, he was kind of talking like he's done.
He's giving me the number 1 pick in synchronized swimming. Nobody's ever turned that much money down on any sport, and guaranteed. And it just looks like to me, I think he's. It wouldn't surprise me if he comes back to Green Bay one more year, but whoever he goes to, you salary cap strapped that whole year. You gotta be. Look what they would have to give up at least 5 starters if they got him out in Vegas, and they can't afford to do that. They don't have a defense. That he wants to get back where Adams had. That ain't the way to do it because Adams probably have to be gone.
They don't have Vegas doesn't have a good enough offensive line to protect Rodgers.
No, they don't.
I think they're looking at Paris Johnson, the tackle. So they're probably going to want to keep the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
The New York media really has dreams of the Jets getting him, but
and you know what? If it happened, it wouldn't surprise me. There's a few places he could go, wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't think he goes to San Francisco. That would be a surprise, but all indications, I saw a 10-person graph the other day saying who was going to be their starting quarterback, and 7 of those 10 said they think it was going to be not Purdy. Only 2 of them said Purdy. Trey Lance, and I'm just like, I can't believe that. I cannot believe they would go with him. There's no way. But obviously Purdy's not going to be ready for the opening day, so I guess maybe, he's not going to be ready till November. So,
yeah,
I don't know. But
I wish he was healthy. I wanted the Ravens to get him.
I think any team would be happy to have him right now, especially.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, but he can win. That's all you want.
Well, right now, and that's the thing. Nobody saw Tom Brady after 10 games saying, "Woo, that's a Hall of Famer." But you can tell the kid can stay in the pocket and throw the football, and this kid really can throw the football.
I wish the Ravens still had that boy from Penn State. I like that boy. He's a decent pocket quarterback. I'm not saying going to light the world on fire, but he was a decent pocket quarterback. He's out in Arizona now.
It ain't McSorley, is it?
Yeah, he's out in Arizona.
Yeah. And the thing is, he ain't never going to start out there. They can't. Not when they're paying that guy $46 million a year. He can't start.
is anybody you think interested in that backup that the Cowboys have?
Oh, yeah, Cooper Rush, yeah. There's a lot of teams interested, but I think he's signed. I think they'd have to trade him. I think. Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't want to sign him if they thought they could? Hell, he outplayed Dak this year. He was a better quarterback. People don't like hearing that. Dak Prescott, is he even good as Romo? I'm not sure he is. Neither one of them's got a game that they can put up on the shelf and say, "Wow, look at my best game ever." Unless it's the 5th week at Washington or something one season, it ain't a postseason win. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're about the same.
Sometimes, but he just
they're coach killers. They play just good enough to get you in the playoffs, and you lose. And they're thinking if we got a better coach that could train them, they would win. Yeah,
and neither one of them was that talented. That's right. That's right.
I think now
any quarterback, if you give them 6 seconds every time they back up, can throw the football. You can put 30 guys up there and they can all do that.
Right.
But, to put it in the small area, small hole here and there, Prescott is not that good.
I'll tell you, though, the way he reads a defense up in that press box, I don't understand why he wasn't all that in a bag of chips, because that man can read a defense.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He sure didn't do it on the field.
No, he couldn't.
And they'll also be looking for a running back, I think, in the draft because of the Pollard's leg injury, and Elliott, I think, is a free agent.
And
Elliott probably has seen his best days. And, I don't know how many carries you can really expect him to do in a game, maybe 10.
I saw him play in high school, Ezekiel Elliott, when he was in high school.
Yeah.
He was like a man among boys. He was really good.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, there was one guy that out of Ohio State that was injured all year, right? That was a running back, and was doing pretty good in that playoff game against Clemson a couple of years ago. They lost. They were ahead, and then I think Fields might have been the quarterback. Dobbins
Dobbins is with Baltimore.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins.
He gets hurt all the time down there.
Yeah, he's been hurt. He was hurt
Every year.
Yeah, last 2 years
Yeah.
both his seasons got short.
Yeah.
Dwayne, I'm hoping Baltimore will draft Bijan Robinson because Mel Kiper says he'll retire if that happens.
That's all right. Is that right? I don't see him drafting a quarterback, but like I say, I'd franchise Jackson and look for something. I don't think they got it out there right now. I don't see anybody that wows me where I'd want them to draft them. But
Right.
Queen, the linebacker out of Baltimore, is kind of acting like he wants out of Baltimore.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a decent ball player.
Mhm. He's even talking Pittsburgh, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's
That defensive backfield that they brag up, I think, sucks. They brag it up all the time, but it sucks, especially late in the game. They either get burnt or they give up a freaking pass interference, sets them up. I mean, a lot. They need a pass rush. I wish Rex was going back down there.
if Pittsburgh can get themselves a couple receivers this year, and maybe another offensive lineman.
I
Yeah,
think
they
that
need-
boy's a decent quarterback up there.
They need to protect Pickett.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got
some
to.
good boys this year. He looks like he's accepting the role pretty well as far as being a leader. He just seems like he's
Who
got,
Pickett?
he seems like he's
Yeah.
got the leadership quality. out there.
He I think
Mentally, like he's ready to go. You know,
you go back. You go
Plus, it
back and
helps
look
being
at
in an
Rob-
organization like that that's stable.
Right. You don't want to leave that place if you don't have
Right.
to. Roethlisberger, you go back and look at his first few games. He didn't play as good. I don't think he played as good as this kid did.
Yeah.
This kid
And
played
that's
really
the thing.
well.
You can have some bad games up there, and they're not ready to get rid of you. They're going
No.
to give you time.
No, and and Harris said if what's his name would have had a losing season this year, they were going to get rid of him. I said I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
that's just like him with wanting to get rid of Harbaugh. The man, I think, has won more 10-win seasons since he's been in the league than anybody. Who are you going to get to replace him?
Right. Who you gonna bring in? I Lovey
Right.
Smith. I Lovey
Yeah.
Smith.
They end up doing the same thing.
Who is that told me he's going to be defensive coordinator at? Where was it? And I'm like, come on. After a while, the treads come off the tire. You just got to let it go. There's no way I'd hire him as my defensive coordinator now.
He did have his players playing for him, though.
Down in Houston. Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I believe that quarterback is not as bad as people say he is.
I agree. That's why I don't think Houston's drafting a quarterback.
No, I don't think he's as bad as people say he is. Yeah, Mills. I think he's a decent quarterback. Now, like a lot of teams, he's got to have an offensive line in front of him. He don't have that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he needs wide receivers too.
Yeah, he needs a lot. I mean, they could use a running back too.
Kansas City is probably going to be looking for wide receivers because MVS and Smith Schuster are free agents this year.
Who else is
Right.
leaving down there, Brian?
Just those two, as far as I know. Most of them are going to be back.
Everybody's pretty much signed, are they?
Yeah.
How about on
Well,
the
they're all young.
defense?
They had 10 or 11 rookies on the team that played, so they're all coming
Is
back.
Fletcher Cox worth $7 million? If somebody can get him 6, 7. Philly ain't gonna sign him. They ain't gonna keep him.
Somebody knocked his helmet off during the Super Bowl. It always
Yeah.
looks like somebody's head's rolling down the field.
I
Yeah,
wonder if
He'll be
Zach
going.
Wilson doesn't just need a new environment or something.
Well, he's got to get out of New York.
he
you
probably
got
needs to sit under somebody for a year or two.
It wouldn't hurt him to do that, but if he
Yeah.
doesn't sit under somebody for a while, he needs to get out of the what do we say? Just the rat race of New York. He needs to be out of there. Carolina, that'd be all right.
That's not a bad team, though. I wouldn't be in no rush to leave up there. They got a lot of good talent.
Well, you talk about the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of good young talent.
That is. I don't think he's equipped to take it. I don't think he's equipped to handle it.
I
No,
don't
but I'm
think
saying
the
if I'm
don't
him,
think
I
the
wouldn't be in
Jets
no
are gonna
rush to
be
leave.
patient enough for him.
Yeah.
Now the guy that's out of Liberty, you think the Titans would be patient enough with him to give him a chance?
Well, I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I think if they get rid of one of them, it'll be Tannehill. And how old is Tannehill? He's got to be in his 30s now.
Yeah, I think Titans will draft an offensive lineman because they're losing Llewellyn. They're probably looking for a tackle. And I think they still have ideas about Malik Willis.
Yeah, I think they do too. You can't give up if you making a what they make him? He wasn't a first round pick. He was a third round pick, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
Willis. Yeah, the only first round quarterback that went last year was
Pickett.
Pickett. Yeah. And I got that, and I nailed that one because everybody said Willis was going to go there, and I said no, I didn't think so. I thought Pickett would. I want to say Willis third round pick. I believe.
Yeah, I thought they wasn't going to let Dan Marino get out of Pittsburgh again. If he would have went somewhere and lit it up, and Panther going to the Hall of Fame again, and Pittsburgh didn't pick him, they couldn't have done that. They had to pick him. They was almost forced to pick him.
Yeah.
And they was almost forced to pick him in the first round. They couldn't take a chance that he wouldn't be there when they had their second round pick.
I believe if they would have waited, I think somebody would have took him between times. I believe it would have. Yeah. It would have been too much of a risk.
Hey, I'm on my way back. Why don't you go on down to the game night?
Oh, I'm online right now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. There's a game night at the condo. She's telling me to go down there for the games.
What is it, Brian?
Oh, Lori called and told me to go down and play games.
Oh, I thought you meant with a game night with Kansas City. They were still there.
No. Mm-hmm. No, football season's over. Had a lot of fun though, Dwayne, at the Super Bowl party.
Oh, I bet.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I put up a few videos on Facebook.
I seen that draft wrapped up when I was at work and watched some of that, and you had some video of it.
Yeah.
What's up, Larry?
What do you think defenses just don't know what to do with Kelsey, Brian? Or I mean,
yeah, on our pick show, our Red Sox fan says, Kelsey's Mahomes Binky, and it would double team him, but everybody tries to double team Kelsey.
I think you got to play him tight and get him off his route. You can't let him have a free release.
The thing with Kelsey is that
he's too fast for a linebacker and too big for a defensive back.
He's got connection.
I think you got to put a linebacker up there and knock him off the route.
Chip him. Yeah,
he's got a connection with Mahomes. He knows how, if it's a zone, him and Mahomes know exactly where the holes are in zones.
Yeah.
And they'll just look at each other and he'll look at where to go, and that he goes there. You can't cover Kelsey. The only guy I've ever seen that really covered him was Fred Warner, linebacker at San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shut down Kelsey one time years ago.
That's how any decent linebacker with that size and speed, like I say, is a disaster. And like I say, especially if you let them get off the line and they get into the secondary. Sure.
Jacksonville didn't hit him at all when we played Jacksonville, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Cincinnati did try hard to.
I'll tell you another thing that I've always noticed with great linebackers, and that's a good blitzing team. And that way they make him stay in and be a pass blocker instead of going out on routes and hoping that, like I say, either if he goes out on the routes, you get to the quarterback before they can get the ball. That stops a lot of decent tight ends.
Yeah, you don't like the block. At the coin toss, Derek Graham, the linebacker for the Eagles, he says, "We all know you're not going to hit anybody." And Kelsey said, "You're right." Not if I can help it.
Yeah, the only time he hits somebody is when somebody's trying to tackle him.
He can block, though. I'll tell you who blocks good is that little running back McKinnon, number 1, in the backfield.
Yeah.
He's a tough little guy. He takes out rushers big time.
Oh, I had him as a fantasy back near the late part of the season. He was tearing people up. I just saw that Well, I started the season with Edwards Hilaire, and then when
He
he
got hurt.
wasn't playing anymore, I added Pacheco, and then I had to add somebody else because of an injury or bye week or something, and so I had Pacheco and McKinnon in there. Both they both scored quite a few points. So
Yeah,
When's that
I
supposed
think
to happen, Michael?
McKinnon led the league in running backs touchdown receptions. He had a bunch of those.
hi, Michael.
I didn't hear about that. He says Texas and Oklahoma's moving to the SEC.
Yeah, they were trying to block.
Weird.
They were trying to hold up until 2026, but they want to make the move now.
When's
Most-
USC and US? They're going.
UCLA going to the Big Ten.
Yeah, they moved up that date, didn't they?
I think they got one more year.
Yeah, I think they bought them out and got them out of there earlier.
Yeah, and it's one more too. Maybe with Stanford. I think it may be Stanford too.
Oh, really? The Cardinals are leaving too?
Yeah, the Cardinal. Yeah. They're trying to.
But who's
move.
joining the pack? There's a few
Who's
teams
joining
joining
the
the pack.
The Pac-12 is going to have BYU.
Right.
I thought BYU was going to the Big 12.
Oh, maybe BYU is going to the Big 12. And let's see who's going to the Pac-12.
I know they got some teams to take over for USC.
Yeah,
and
they got
UCLA.
some teams going out there, but they
So they can still have the championship game. You need 12 teams.
Yeah, they lost. I know they lost 3, but I can't even remember who the heck.
Was it the Utes that's going out there?
Utah's already
It's already
part.
there.
They're already there.
Yeah, so is Oregon.
Colorado.
Colorado's already out there.
Yeah, Dion might end up having the best team in the conference in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, Oregon would still be.
Texas Tech was talking to them, but I don't know if they ever did do anything. And so was Baylor. Baylor and Texas Tech, because they was going to give them a boatload of money to come out there. Where Texas and Oklahoma, Texas and Oklahoma is spending money to go to the SEC. People are offering a boatload of money to go to the Big 12, to the Pac-12, and that's if I was Big 12, that's a lateral move or a downward move. I mean, basketball.
Yeah, but you get that LA market to get you money. That's a lot of money generated by TV revenue out there. Sure.
Did San Diego State and UNLV move into the Pac-12?
I don't know. I want to say one of the, San Diego State may have been offered, and so was
Fresno State.
it might have been Fresno State. It's been some teams though you wouldn't think that would get offered. You know,
So I don't know how much money Maryland got, because that's what the Big
Big Ten
10 wanted, that Washington Baltimore TV revenue.
When Missouri went to SEC, that killed them.
Oh yeah,
The SEC put them in the Eastern Division. They don't even get to play Arkansas.
yeah. They should definitely be they should be a Western Division team.
So why would any kid want to go to Missouri? Your parents can't watch you play half your games. You know.
Well, I think if they with adding Oklahoma and Texas, they had to move Missouri back to the west, move maybe Auburn and Alabama to the east.
But then look at what the East has got.
Right. You'd
mean,
have
there's
Florida,
so-
Georgia, Alabama, Auburn. Yeah. It'd be a mess.
The West would never
Yeah,
win
we-
anything. They would never
Right.
win.
And the East would beat the
You'd
shit
have
out of each other and be
Oklahoma,
mad.
LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
East, Georgia, Florida. Alabama,
Florida has a-
Tennessee, enough
Mississippi. Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. It would be.
Mississippi State would be
Auburn, you got Auburn too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then you got South Carolina shows up and plays damn good
South
ball.
Carolina. Oh yeah, just ask Tennessee.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it would be murder. It's kind of like the Big Ten. Big
And
Ten's
it's
like
not
that. The
really-
East fucking is killer. The West ain't much.
At one time, they were even considering doing a draw, doing a handheld draw.
What I'm saying is, you give Oklahoma and Texas, so there are two teams.
Division 1 and
that
Division 2
Pilot
is what they was
Brand.
gonna call it.
Yeah, but I still don't think they measure up to Auburn,
There ain't no
Alabama,
way.
though.
No, no
Auburn
shit.
isn't good every year.
What's that?
Auburn's not good every year.
No, they're not. But Auburn's good as Auburn's good as Tennessee or
I mean, if you
Oklahoma
look at
is.
the East right now,
They're not, yeah, but
they
they're
look weak.
but the thing is, they're
Yeah,
not
but look who they're
guaranteed-
playing. If they played Texas and Oklahoma, they beat them 2 games instead of having
Well, I
to
know, but
play
what I'm saying
Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah,
right now everybody thinks all the talent's in the West because you got Alabama and Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, A&M. You know, and in the East, you just look at it as okay. Georgia's been really good. Florida hasn't been that good.
Auburn's East, ain't it?
Tennessee hasn't been that good.
Auburn's in the
Kentucky
East.
and Vanderbilt aren't very good.
Auburn's in the
Missouri's
East.
not very good.
Auburn's SEC East, ain't they? Yeah, I think so. I think they are. Let's see.
I don't think so.
SEC SEC conference.
No, because it's Missouri, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. Those are the 7 that are in the East.
All right.
And the West has got all the talent right now.
Anybody gonna watch the XFL?
I'll watch a game here and there.
How about
Probably not a
US?
whole game.
USFL. How about that?
That's in April.
I think the XFL got some of the USFL's best players.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
See, having 2 leagues, though, that's going to kill them both. I
SEC
think.
football conferences.
They'll probably end up merging, be my guess.
If they don't just collapse before then.
It depends on TV money. As long as the networks keep paying them, they'll last. If the networks decide to pull the plug, that'll be the end
I
of
thought
it.
the USFL was probably doing pretty good back in the 80s. They just tried to get too big too fast. And
They blamed it on Donald Trump wanting to go and play in the winter. He wanted to go head to head because he didn't care about the league. He just wanted his New Jersey Generals to be part of the NFL is what he wanted.
Well, teams are spending a lot of money to try to sign guys instead of the NFL. It's like Steve Young and Reggie White and
I saw
Bobby
Steve
Aber
Young
and
play with the
Anthony Carter
Express in LA.
Herschel
That's one of his
Walker.
games.
What's that, Brian?
I saw Steve Young play when he played with the LA Express.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, you had Kelly in Houston, him
Yeah.
out in L.A., Flutie in New
Marcus Dupre
Jersey.
with the Portland Breakers.
You had Sipes up in Jersey too before they drafted Flutie. They had some quarterbacks.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Breakers started in Boston and went
So
to
this
Florida.
weekend, he said USFL on Saturday. I think he means XFL.
XFL, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have one rule change. Rule change is fumble in the end zone. I hadn't heard about it, but will you watch it, Dwayne?
I might watch a play here and there. I'm not saying I'd watch a full game.
I
If
know,
I'm
whatever.
bored and clicking through and something's on, I'll watch it.
Michael, you
Yeah.
should have an invite that I sent you a while back.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't sit back and watch whole. But how about a college basketball game, Dwayne? Have you sat back and watched the whole game?
I'm not into basketball.
Oh,
Yeah, especially college.
basketball, but I am not like college. Ever since they let them leave after 2 years.
Yeah.
don't
I
like
just
it.
never could get into
Or
it.
1
Rob.
year. They let them leave after 1 year now.
I guess the biggest I ever was a basketball fan was back in the 80s with Bird McHale and them, watching
Yeah.
them when I was
I
in
got
high
you.
school.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good. Him
Okay.
against Magic, him against the Bad Boys in Detroit. And
Yeah.
even on going up against Ewing in New York. There was a lot of good games.
Yeah.
Irvin when he was still somewhat
Six.
playing for the Sixers. And then after that, you had Barkley. I mean, he was interesting to watch.
Barkley,
Yep.
especially when they went to Phoenix. He was
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Portland had a hell of a good team back then, too, with Clyde Drexler and them. Yeah.
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 Hey, They
So-
they kept the ball running up and down the court.
And of
did the
course,
Ro-
my favorite was going up against Sampson and them when he hit Jerry Sheestings and they made those signs. I'm 5'5". You want to take me on, Ralph? That was funny as hell.
Houston, yeah.
Yeah, when he hit Jerry Sheestings.
Yeah. Then after that, it was really cruel what they did. But I mean, it was funny.
Talking about McHale.
Yeah. Well, no, the signs that a couple nights later said something about, "We're sorry we made this sign for you. We weren't under the understanding you couldn't read."
Oh, darn. I don't remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did that shit. What I mean, it was right on the back of the other board. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, that's so wrong. But yeah,
Brian, what's the Royals' plan as far as being ready for postseason again? Do they have a 3-year plan or anything? Or
No, they got no plans. One thing they're trying to do is build a new stadium downtown, which I
okay,
think they may
is
do.
Benintendi still there?
Pardon?
Benintendi, is he still in town?
No.
No, he's with the White Sox now.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have that rookie that they were all excited about last year.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be okay. And Brady Singer had a good year last year. He'll be all right. But there's not much going on for the Royals.
I watched the video today of what's that clown that got in trouble? You got the hot chick that is his not advisor, but it's his agent, Rachel Lupa.
Oh yeah, Trevor
Oh.
Bauer.
Bauer
Oh,
pitching to a high school kid. Yeah, that dude clocked him a couple times. I mean, he absolutely popped the ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
high school kid.
but he's supposed to be one of the top 10 in the country.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were sending texts back and forth. That's the third time they met. The first time the kid rocked him like 6 times out of 10. They call it 10 at bats. So you give him 3
Yeah.
strikes. Second time, trouble. All he threw him was curveballs, and he could not hit it. And then this time, he was throwing 92, 93, 94 right by him. But the kid did hit a couple of them, but he got his high about halfway down his back now. Bauer does. I don't think he has no intention of playing no more. I really don't. Now, I may be wrong, but I think he's done all he wanted to do. Bears got the Arlington Heights property. Yeah, Mike, I was just telling them about that. Yeah. They got the land. All they got to do is start the build. They said they're hoping to by May.
Who's paying for it?
City.
Yeah, I figures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not ownership.
Lease it for $1.
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah. 15 cents on a dollar, right?
Yeah. Don't get none of the concessions, none of the parking.
Denver. How about that group up there? The ones with the Walton gang up there, and Walton's Mountains, what they call it, up in
Yeah.
Denver. But they're actually offering to build a new stadium for Denver if they want.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they're saying they'll even put a dome up there if they want it. They want the best for that team. You can tell they do. I mean, hell, week 17, they put all new turf down for 1 week for that team, and the players they were going to ownership and going to the general manager like what's going on out here. I said, yeah, the owners decided to put new turf down for you just for 1 week. So yeah, they're not halfway going with it. They want all in, and that's why they're willing to pay all these coaches inordinate amounts of money. Now, yeah, you can do that, but
Ain't no salary cap on that, is it?
ain't no salary cap on coaches.
Yep.
You done gave up your first round picks and all. You better hope that you can bring in some some free agents. Now, to me, I'll be glad if they ever do drop a salary cap. That's what I'd like to see.
They raised it this year.
I'd like to see them get rid of it. And I'm
That
talking
means
about
get rid of it.
Get rid of it entirely. Get
But
rid of them.
Now then football would turn into the Yankee like
I would
baseball.
love it. I would
Yeah,
love
I'm
it.
like,
the players
That
don't
way-
want that either, though, because
No,
then
I-
you
I
wouldn't
would
have a
like-
minimum.
I would hate that.
Without a
It would
cap,
turn
you're
into
not going to have
baseball.
a minimum.
Who is Philly going to get for OC and DC? The offensive coordinator is probably going to be their quarterback's coach. That's what I'm hearing, and their defensive coordinator. I've heard Lovie Smith's name, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's what
Why
I'm
would
hearing.
you want them to drop the salary cap, Rob?
Oh, dude, I want to see him, every one of them make as much money as he can. I don't.
Anything I don't like about that, then Rob, they'll be going from team to team. I liked it better when there was no free agency, and I liked it when the owners owned them.
I would
You play
rather
for me or you don't play.
I'd rather for them to have baseball type contracts. So 5 years, $40 million, you can't go nowhere.
Yeah,
You know, that kind of deal. Then if you get hurt,
I mean that's what killed the Redskins was free
If you-
agency
if you
because they
get
paid
hurt-
their backups damn good money not to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
if you
sure
get
that-
hurt, then you don't have to worry about the salary cap.
Because that's why teams now are one player down and the backup ain't worth a shit because he's making a league minimum because you can't
Right.
afford to pay a good backup.
Exactly.
Your 22 guys make the money and the rest of them
You
don't
would,
make shit.
you would have a team. You would have some teams step up. Yeah, you would have some teams step up.
I mean, back in the 80s and early 90s, like I say, some of them freaking backups for Washington was making almost starter money because that's what they want.
Increased tickets, Mike. Man, those tickets are all right. I mean, at the 40-yard line in Philly, 40-yard line in Philly, a season ticket's $3,800.
Mm.
$3,800. How much more can it go up? If it keeps going up, people will stop paying it. They
Yeah,
will.
but I think a lot of it's corporate money anyway, Rob.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the
yeah.
sad
Oh
part.
yeah. Oh yeah. They got
Especially tickets like that. Now,
Whatever's
don't
on
get
the
me wrong,
outside
there's a lot of
stadium.
guys down at the prisons got season tickets to Ravens games, and which I actually like the seats. They're in the 500 upper deck section.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, but I actually like those seats. I sat down in the lower level, and I'll tell you, I'd much rather sit up high.
Really?
Two reason was that every idiot in that section stood up the whole fucking game.
Right.
That irritated the crap out of me. And like I say, I could see better up top. Only thing you can't see as well is punts and kickoffs. There's no depth reception. It looks like the ball goes
Right.
straight up in the air and straight down. You can't tell it went 40, 50
Sitting
yards
in the
down
upper
the field.
deck at Wrigley Field behind like one of the baselines, that's really good
Yeah.
as a view too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they had Comiskey Park, the old Comiskey, their upper deck was a great view. Also,
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, like I say, I like it. And it's not like the old stadiums when you're up 100 some feet and you're also 100 and some yards
Right.
north,
Yeah.
south, or east.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
right,
stacked
right.
up. You're only 10 yards off the field. You might be 200-300 feet up,
Yeah.
but I mean, you're right over the field because
Right.
it's a bitch walking up there. I'll say that. Fucking
Yeah.
steps are steep, but you're not like going up, and keep on going out like
It's climbing a ladder.
Memorial
It's
Stadium
climbing-
and all.
It's like climbing a ladder.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
they let
I
you
know.
use the ramps if you got issues, but down in Baltimore, you can't use the ramps to go up. They let you using the ramps to leave because they're wider and people can get out quicker. But
Right.
they got escalators down in Baltimore too, but you got to wait in line forever.
Yeah.
Lori and I were one time we're sitting on the upper deck at RFK Stadium in DC,
Never went there.
and that thing, the upper deck, when they got excited, that thing
Oh, it shook.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, that place actually rocked for real.
I love watching games on TV that were played there though. I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good.
Yeah,
I like it better than that place they play at now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to try to hypnotize Ron Rivera into taking a defensive coordinator job somewhere.
that's Rob's boy. He ain't going nowhere.
Are you kidding? I
Well, they
wish
got hired.
we could talk Carolina and let him be part owner of the team. Send him down to Carolina. I'll even take him the second half of the trip. I know how to get there.
Hmm.
I've been there a couple times.
And then they'll probably hire somebody like Nathaniel Hackett to be the coach.
Please no. Or not Josh McDaniel, but Cliff Kingsbury.
Or to bring Gibbs back for the
But
third time.
I will say this much for Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury had everything but the shackles put around his legs and hands by the time he got there. He didn't have nothing to work with.
Quarterback.
Oh yeah, man. If you had a midget, you had to have to hand the ball to every play. Yeah, I mean, he ain't gonna work for you either. You gotta you gotta be able to at least throw the football somewhere.
Midget that won't study.
He could go to Washington and be better. He'd be better than what we got. Kingsbury. Oh yeah, be a big improvement. Hell, we could even get Dirty Old Man up there. The one came from Jacksonville. He'd be an improvement.
Urban.
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. He'd still be an improvement.
I don't know. I think he's like Nick
I
and
think he's a dumpster
and
fire.
Spurrier. I think they're college coaches.
Yeah, that's exactly. Keith said he's a dumpster.
I'll tell you though, I was hoping old Spurrier was going to do well down there.
For 4 years with this jabroni though.
I liked old Spurrier. I was hoping he'd do well when he went down there.
Yeah.
But he was honest. He said he could do it. He says, I can coach in the NFL. He says, I just can't coach my style of football, and I'm not gonna coach an NFL style football game. I want to do my run and gun.
Yeah, and Gibbs, he proved even when he came back he could still coach. It got to where the players just weren't gonna listen no more.
To say he wasn't used to free agency.
Not to that extent, right? Yeah. Right. He'd had players change teams, but not, not upheavals, man.
Yeah, he wasn't used to that.
Yeah,
hey, Mike.
Hi, guys.
What's up, Mike?
Michael.
So when's this move supposed to take place, Mike, with SEC?
There's not at wherever Oklahoma and Texas. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's echoing. Is that me?
That's you. 26 is what they said the other day.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it is me. Okay, hold on.
But something may have changed since now and then. I don't know.
Money.
No, next year is their last year in the Big 12.
Oh, so you're saying 2025?
24.
No,
I'm saying you're saying next year's the last of the first year they'll be able to play is 2025.
24 is when they leave in. 24 is when
24.
they leave. Yep.
Because they're talking about it in baseball and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah. Or basketball. Texas and Texas Tech. Texas played their last conference game against the Raiders on Monday night. And it's going to be the last time they're going to be playing as a conference game at the United Center in Lubbock.
That's one thing I don't like. That's how I learned geography in school was football.
Yeah.
Big Ten, Pac-10, knowing where in the hell teams was, and that's how you learn geography. You didn't have a freaking team on the East Coast playing in the Pac-12 and all that.
Don't worry, Mike knows where Michigan is, and he knows where the West Coast is.
I know what the West Coast team looks like. Don't matter.
But he just ain't sure if Michigan's quite all the way to the West Coast.
Michigan State's the West Coast team against Michigan, so it doesn't matter.
Something like that.
And Lansing.
Yeah, it might be the West Coast of the Big Ten, right?
Hey, Dwayne, where you work, do they have one of the longest yard type games with the prisoners?
No, they stopped doing tackle football. I don't know how many years ago that was, Keith, because of injuries. They play flag football. Yeah.
We used to play a prison team. When I was an athletic director in California, there was a prison team in Paso Robles, California.
We haven't
hardcore.
They haven't done intramurals between guards and inmates in years. Last time they did, that's when they used to have a tournament down in Ocean City for officers. And before they went down to Ocean City, they played the inmates at practice game. But they haven't done that in years because a guy got hurt down in Ocean City. And dumbass state of Maryland was actually paying you to go down there. So when he got hurt playing softball, he was on the clock. So he got a damn medical out of it. So they stopped that horse shit.
This high school team in Paso Robles was a prison team, and when they played an away game, one player would get off the bus, and then a corrections officer with a gun would get off, and the next player would get off in another corrections office.
They had one officer per inmate?
One
Jeez,
officer
that
per
was a lot of
inmate.
money.
Yeah, there was a lot of these were all murders and rapists and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But my coach liked to play them because he kind of had a shady past himself.
Oh,
But, we had a game in the prison that I scheduled in the prison. They were small school state champions, I think, in '83, and we were state champions in '84. So the next season, I scheduled a game in the prison, and I wanted my team to play in the
so
prison.
this was juveniles.
Yeah, high school age. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted my players to play in the pressure because they let the inmates come and watch the game, and I scheduled that on purpose. But the principal of my school didn't. One of the cheerleaders that goes, she called the warden and asked them not to let the prisoners play, or not let the prisoners watch the game. So it was
Oh,
the weirdest high school game I ever saw. There were like 10 other coaches scouting the game, but no fans.
darn.
And that's the whole reason I scheduled that game, because I wanted the raucous atmosphere
Right.
that was in the prison when they played. They had a good team.
Yeah, they used to have boxing matches. Like I say, all that was done before I got hired. They don't even allow them to box anymore. Yeah. They still play basketball inside the prison. They play flag football. They don't play baseball. They play softball.
I don't know if they still do. They probably still don't do it, but for years they did it at Paso Robles, and nobody escaped because it was kind of like their way to get off the site.
Yeah.
And, everybody.
Thank God they don't have to. Thank God they don't have to deal with axe throwing. Axe throwing is big sport.
We talk
Oh,
about,
the life
With
of
darts.
we talk about football and baseball and basketball. My man Mike comes up with axe throwing. Oh, my
Axe
God.
throwing.
We got to remember, he's in Texas.
What would the life insurance be for
They
maximum
have
exposure
leagues in
purposes?
axe throwing.
How about
Now, do they do the
Why not
rodeo
just-
still down there, Mike?
I'm sorry.
Do they still do prison rodeos down there?
I don't know. I don't
President
know. I
ain't
should
big
ask
enough to
a friend-
ride
my
no
friend.
more.
why not just have skeet shooting too, Michael?
I was thinking darts.
Metal tip darts.
Metal tip darts.
Oh my God.
It sounds like they're talking about the longest yard on here.
Yeah, that's what he was asking. Yeah.
Axes, right.
Yeah, there's three prisons.
Axe throwing.
There's three
Yeah.
prisons on that road down there, Keys. Like I say, they used to bring them back and forth across the road,
Yeah.
but they stopped doing that. Like I say, that was probably the last time they done anything like that was probably around 95 or 96. I got hired in 97. They used to actually bring in performers from the outside. They brought in this band. At the time when I got hired, I knew what the band was. They had a concert out in the yard. Well, had a female singer where she flashes their asses. So I almost starts a riot. So that ended that horse shit. Yeah.
You flashed her ass?
No, she flashed her tits.
Oh.
Yeah. They had the captain that was in charge of that kind of stuff, that he was on vacation. They had to call his ass back off vacation and come in there. And that ended all that. So, like I say, I was around 95, I think, 94, 95. It was a couple years before I got hired, because he was still down there and he was teaching over in the academy when I got hired. And he was talking about the day that he got called off of vacation, had to go in there because there was almost a riot because of her. Yeah. Yeah.
We had an unfortunate thing after the Super Bowl party. One of our police officers got hit by a car,
Oh, darn.
by probably a truck driver. And he got killed.
I got killed.
Mhm.
And I assume you mean him personally got hit, right?
Yeah.
Not inside a vehicle.
No, he was outside.
outside the
Actually,
building.
him and his dog got hit.
Oh darn!
Yeah, the police dog. He was a very good policeman too. He was a guy that he arrested a guy in Kansas City about 5 years ago that had killed 5 people. He's the one
Oh,
that arrested him.
was he a detective then, in Brian?
No, he was a regular policeman.
Oh, he was a patrolman.
Mhm. Yeah.
They catch you hitting?
Probably, but I don't know for sure. Yeah.
Has anybody heard from Sean Armstrong lately to know if he's home or?
I don't know. Last we heard, he was still in the hospital.
Talking about people I haven't seen or heard from. How about Travis?
Well,
Yeah, Travis is he's busy with his horse racing and stuff.
I used to see him occasionally when I was on. He'd be in the chat. I haven't seen him in a long while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got to go check out ID with his History Maker Golf. He calls out Keith. I don't know if Keith's on tonight or not. He should go over to Keith. Keith's normally on Thursdays. He ought to go over there, talk to Keith. Man, I turned it on. I did that college football game last night between Coastal Carolina against Alabama, because they both was a 2-loss team. And it's around 12 o'clock I got done. I've seen ID was still on there, and he's playing History Maker Golf.
He was late. Yeah, he had his cards all spread around.
Yeah. So I'm like,
that.
that tournament should just be about over. I hit the button, and he's cussing up a storm. And I'm like, what am I got into? And I thought he was going to do his, what was the game that he threw? Race across Moscow. I thought he's going to do a race across Moscow and throw freaking History Maker Golf across the freaking room, but he didn't throw it. But he is selling every play game he's got. So if anybody's interested in buying play games,
they're all
sell it
damaged,
to you.
probably.
And he went and bought, I don't know how many courses. He went, sent him all the pictures I had for play mats. He bought all them play mats, bought a bunch of sleeves. That's what he was cussing about. He's like, I spent all this fucking money. And he's effing everything. I spent all this fucking money, and I'm never playing these games again. I'm like, damn, buddy, you got to calm down. Yeah, it was one of his great rants. It was one of his best ones, I tell you. Yeah.
That guy, he's a shopaholic, I think, when it comes to games.
Well, then I think he gets some of those games for free.
Probably so.
I think he gets a lot of the war games for free.
Yeah. He joined the community. I think that if he plays a certain amount of them.
But I'll say this: what he doesn't do is certain companies he won't do free games, because then they expect him not to rant and rave, and he rant and raves about every fucking company. I gotta give him credit. He is across the board. He's ranting and raving about this one company called GMT because they won't fucking put bags in the
the
games anymore.
Bags.
Yeah, he's like, we got a fucking shortage of bags. And then when they had the explosion up in Ohio, he's like, well, maybe they're doing good not putting bags in there, and they're going to save people's lives.
Well, they're the best game or war game company out there. They're the only ones I'll buy from, you know.
That's what he said for years, and now he's cussing them because they won't put bags in there.
He still said the same thing the other day. He said, but I'm going to say something when I don't like something that they do, you know.
Oh, man, yeah. He goes off on them about not putting bags in there. And they sell trays, and that's what he thinks they're doing, is they're not putting bags in there so you'll buy their damn trays. He says it's smart on their part, but it's bullshit. I'm like, yeah.
I can't, like Brian, I couldn't see you ever going on a rant on some game during one of your broadcasts. I don't think you broadcast.
People are trying to make a living and sell these games. There's no point in tearing them down.
Right.
I mean, you can give an honest opinion about a game, but you don't have to.
Right. You don't have to rip them apart, and
unless it's tight about two, Rob.
Sometimes you can cut. I ain't crazy about that by hockey, yeah, but
I tight about two.
I got treated like crap.
I know.
I know.
Yeah. Like I told you, I had a hell of a time. I never bought it though, because I couldn't get him to sell it to me.
Business part. I tried.
That was a computer version. I couldn't get it to download, and he more or less blew me off. I'm like, well, I didn't spend that money.
He tried to get me to he sent me an invitation request on Facebook.
Oh, did he? Well, you should have went to APBA football. He had him on there one day. I thought about you.
Yeah,
I can't understand getting. I mean, the play games. I mean, they're a good company. They treat you right.
Now he did say that. I got to give ID credit. He said about how good his customer service is and how he's very loyal to his customers and all. But the fucking rules suck. He says. He said about 5 or so things nice, and then he went right back to cussing that rule book. He hates their rule books.
It just gets down to, it's not a game for him. I mean, but they're a unique style of game, and they're good quality.
They are different. Yeah.
I love fast drive football.
Yeah.
Well, that's not play.
Well, it's not play, but it's same concept.
Al Wilson, who's done a lot for them.
Now he's got second season. Yeah, he's got.
He loves second season. He said that too. He says that's my favorite football game, but the rules suck in it too. The rule book's terrible. He says, but I like it. But he did admit that he loves second season football. He says it's my favorite football game to play. Yeah. So he's not selling second season. But he's selling red, white, and blue. He got red, white, and blue. He got Hockey Blast. Because he hates soccer. So he didn't buy soccer.
He didn't buy Soccer Blast.
No, he hates soccer.
Golf. Obviously, golf. You're getting rid of that.
Yeah, he's definitely getting rid of golf. And like I said, he's bought home team
courses. Does he have the wrestling? Does he have a wrestling?
I don't know if he does or not.
I want to say he bought that at one time. I want to say he had that.
I thought he gave History Maker Baseball a decent review in the past. He just wished there was more cards for more players or something.
Right. He wished there was more substitute players. Yeah. They want just 10, 11.
He's big on, every player's got to be carded.
I like that too. I got to admit, even if I never use them, I like having them.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to head out for a few minutes, guys. I may come back by in a few minutes, Keith.
Well, no, I'm thinking that it's probably a good time to wrap it up. I just wanted to stop in for a little bit and socialize a little, say hi.
You have a good one, Rob.
Good to see everybody.
All right. Brian, good to see you. Yeah, go Chiefs. Congratulations on the enjoy that all year, Brian. Enjoy it all year. Yeah. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
All righty, Keith.